Hey everybody, Reaganite71 here out in the garden. Got to mow the yard here in just a little bit, but it's been another 10 days and I wanted to do a garden update video and show you where my plants are at. I shot video on the 3rd of May, the 13th of May, and now the 23rd of May. Stick around for the end because what I'm going to do is I'm going to take all 3 snapshots of each plant and morph them and you can see how they've grown. So let's get to looking at the garden here. We'll start off with the pumpkins. And they have just really shot up. Look at this. And they're pretty much self-trellising. They're sending out these runners and grabbing onto the trellising pretty much on their own. Now I'm doing a little bit of weaving, like this one here. I might take this little plant, this little piece right here, and tuck it behind it if it wants to. Now I don't try to force it. If it wants to, I'll help guide it around just a little bit. This one is just about ready to. Let's see here. There we go. And that's pretty much it. That's all I'm doing to the pumpkins to grow them vertically. My wife's got some flowers coming up in the back over here. She sowed some seeds there and we put some petunias in. Our watermelons are looking a lot better. If you remember our last video, I showed you they look kind of sickly, but they're really starting to pop out of it. What I did is I took fresh compost and I just threw it in the whole bed all the way down. And it's feeding them and giving them nourishment, and they're really starting to pop up. My seedless are a little bit further behind. Now we planted those pumpkins there about a week and a half before the watermelon. But our sugar babies are really taking off. Won't be long, they'll be climbing that trellis. Probably within the week, if not sooner. My seed that fell down the hill is still doing real good. And then we've got that one. These are the seedless over here. We just got the sugar baby in the middle for pollination. And here's our strawberry garden stick I made. As you can see, we got strawberries popping out. And some of them are starting to turn there. And flowers coming out. I was just watching one of Praxis's garden update videos yesterday, and I noticed he said he takes all of his berries off the first year and lets it devote itself to root growth, which is a good idea. I don't know that it's as critical in a garden stick like this though, because there's not a lot of room for root growth. It's just going to grow. It's going to do what it will, so I'm going to go ahead and let them bury and see how it works. Our petunias over here, they're happy this morning. One thing that I do is once it's done, I get it off. That way it doesn't try to take any more energy. I'll take these things off here. Plus, it makes it look nicer. My wife said she saw about 5 ladybugs in one bed last night, so we've still got our ladybugs too. Well, I have finally got an herb that's growing in a container and liking it. It's the cilantro. The basil, we're getting a little bit, but boy, it is just not happy at all. And I've been giving it compost tea. I don't know what the deal is there. Our cantaloupe though, remember the cantaloupe TP? Look at this. It's up to the top. And it has pretty much done all of that on its own. I've done very little guiding. That's a smart plant when it comes to sending out runners and pulling itself up. It'll surely do it. I've given it very little guidance. It's actually wanting to run out of the box over there, but we've got the planters that are kind of stopping it. Isn't that neat though? We've got flowers. Boy, they were just flowering like crazy last night. Come here, you. Let's go and turn that way, all right? There we go. There we go. Very little guidance, though. See that runner coming out right there? Let's do this right here. Put it up in here. See See if we can help it out a little. Yeah, it can grow up that way. We should have a nice sheet of green all the way around it before long. Well, my garden angel's been watching out for the tomatoes. Our Heat Masters are producing real good. They say that these will resist splitting and cracking and produce real good in the heat. As you can see, we've just got clusters all over it. Our Arkansas Traveler heirloom plants are in the back over here, and they're starting to really produce too. They're looking good. Got my apple juice on the blossoms. And over here, we've got our big boys there. I got to step back to get it all in the shot. Better boys, I should say. Those are the better boys. And then our big boy. And it's getting, I got big hands. And look at that stalk there. It's getting a really healthy stalk. You know, and I will forego producing tomatoes on the thing if it'll get a nice healthy stalk, although I do see one right there. Zoom in now. There's a tomato on it. I didn't see that the other day. So she's producing. This is our other better boy here. Doesn't look like much until you start looking through the leaves. You can see we got a nice big one down here. Right there. And then we've got them here, up here, back here. Nice, beautiful cluster right there, just all through it. We got more growing up high, just at every level. And then I've got new growth here. I'm going to train through the trellis today. And I'm going to do something else. This early girl over here has got a really nice cluster at the bottom, and then that's pretty much it. She's done. There's no new growth on it or anything. So what I'm going to do, what I'm going to try to do, I should say, is I have run a string from one side of this trellis over to the other one. And I had an extra branch here. Instead of topping off the sucker, what I'm going to do is try to run it over to this and then take it up the trellis. May work, may not, but that's one of the joys of gardening, is trying stuff out and seeing if it works. So that's just what we're going to do there. Well, here's my banana peppers. I've got lots of little blossoms, and I've got some itty bitty banana peppers coming up here. That one's looking really good there. That one is happy, very happy. This one, it's got a little bitty one right there, a little nubbin. That's about it though. But it's coming along. And over here I've got my jalapenos and my bell peppers. And we're getting lots of little flowers on our jalapenos here. And I've got some itty bitty jalapenos. There's one right there, as you can see, along with some grass I need to get up. Ugh, it's a never-ending process. If you decide to build a raised bed garden, lay some cardboard down first. I highly recommend that. Over here at the bells, they are getting with it here. Look at here. Aren't they cute? I can't wait for them to get in my belly. Here's our red bells here growing. I can keep the leaves off the camera. These are our green bells here. Got a nice thick stalk here. Getting all of these lower limbs off up until we get fruit on it, or blooms. That way the energy can go up into the blooms. Now, if you didn't have these cages around them, you might not want to do that. You might want a lower center of gravity, or at least stake them off. What I'm doing though is I'm putting these cages on, to help with that. Over here we've got our okra growing. Big old thick stalks. They're enjoying the compost tea. You can see there's my big fat thumb. And there's the stalk. I've got a couple of spindlier ones, but look at that one right there. That is one big stalk there already. And got a flower coming out. You got okra growing right there. Yeah, right there. These are our single stem tomatoes here that we're experimenting with. We started out with a real tiny little package of them, little seedling starts. We're just going to work them up through the trellising and see if they don't produce. First time I showed you these though, I think they were right about here, just under the trellis. They were getting with it there. Here's our squash and our zucchini over here. Getting with it. One issue I've noted, and it may be due to the trying to trellis them and grow them vertically, is that the female flowers are opening while most of the males are not yet on the squash. This is our first time to try to grow vertically, but I noticed all these flowers are opening up and the males were still green and not ready to open up. They're starting to turn now. You can tell a female from a male because the female is going to be at the end of the squash plant. The male is going to come out on these little runners like this. Pollen inside of there needs to get to that. What I may need to do is take a paintbrush, open it up, dab it, and then hit this female ovary here. You didn't know you were going to be in sex ed today, did you? Now the zucchini, it's doing a little bit better. As you can see right there. A little bit better. They were looking really wilty yesterday during the day. It got up to, gosh, almost 100 degrees in May. 5 minutes after 4 p.m. Central Time here in good old Fort Smith, Arkansas. This is what my squash and my zucchini look like right now. See, they got the droop going from the heat. This evening, hopefully they'll be perked up. So we'll do a little comparison video in here. But yeah, I walked out here yesterday afternoon. I about had a heart attack. Everything was just drooped way down. I thought, oh my God, what happened? Harvey Updike's been to my garden. For those of you who don't know, Harvey Updike is the Alabama fan that poisoned the trees at Auburn's Toomer's Corner. But anyway, there's our zucchini. Got our carrots growing in the box here. Growing right next to our green beans on the trellis. I'm going to need to make another trellis here. Over on this side, I think, because they're coming over onto the grass and just generally bunching up here. I think this other row would benefit from having one of those too. It's going to look different though because I'm out of bamboo. And then our corn. Holy cow, the corn. It's over my belly. And that takes some doing now, let me tell you. But there's the corn. Sweet corn. Can't wait. Our potato plants have put on flowers. They're looking real good. I'm afraid our onions are getting crowded out in the middle there. That might have been a bad idea there. We should have just planted them around them in the box. I'm guessing 3-4 weeks we'll have us some russet potatoes there. I'm hoping. And over here, our red onions are growing real good. Cauliflower. You can see where they got eat up before, and I had to go get those ladybugs. And then our other box of red onions. Sweet peas have made it to the string we put along the fence there. Some of my wife's other herbs trying to grow in the container there. Keeping them moist, you know. Our morning glories, our climbing cardinal trumpets. The other morning glory. Just not doing too good there. I guess it's the corn shading them out in the morning. Oh well. You live and learn, and that's the beauty of gardening. Don't have a cow if you're having problems. It's a learning experience. Unless it's how you make your living. Then you can have a cow all you want. But even then, there's so... Man, I tell you, YouTube is such a wonderful resource, though. In some cases, you can share your experience. In other cases, you can learn from others. I just want you to know how much I appreciate you joining me, subscribing to my channel, and growing together. This is Reaganite71. You guys have a great day, and we'll see you next time. Happy gardening and happy harvests.